Welcome back, y'all. It's 2025, and we're back to That's What I'm Saying, the podcast about hip hop, entertainment, dating, sex, relationships, and social issues from a sometimes ratchet, because you know what me and my sister do, but mostly woke perspective. So listen and subscribe to That's What I'm Saying. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, you can listen to us. Also, watch That's What I'm Saying, the TV show, weekdays on Island TV, or just download the Island TV app. You want to see our faces. Follow us on Instagram at TwizPod. So I'm Shaun.
And I'm Shatara.
Hey, sis. Hey. Happy New Year. How you do?
Happy New Year. I am great. No complaints here. No complaints.
Good. Feeling good. I know you was a little under the weather. Everybody had it. Everybody was getting it. We was all a little under the weather.
Yeah.
Sound better.
A little man down. Every time I talked to somebody, even if it was a stranger, they were like, I'm just getting over being sick. Like everybody got sick within these past 4 weeks. Something crazy.
Yep. I had something back and forth for Thanksgiving, then around Christmas, and then again after New Year's. It just, a little lingering, but feeling better.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I was watching Set It Off in the background, and I was like, this is such a classic damn movie. Cleo getting shot. And no, I must say, just Set It Off is such a classic movie. And then I'm over here eating a snack. Now, I don't know if there are snacks that as a kid you could eat, but now as an adult, it don't even taste right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Versus snacks that like you ate as a kid, and when you get a little reminder, you're like, oh my God, this is so good. So number one, I used to eat those Hostess apple pies.
Oh yeah, me too. Ooh.
And I remember Mom used to pack them on school trips. That was the shit. Like, I love her. I love her. Oh, Mommy's the shit. Now, let me tell you something. That shit tastes like poison to me. Today,
I know, right?
I like grab my throat like somebody set me up. Like, who's trying to sabotage me this life? Now it tastes like poison. But the one snack that I have just I rekindled my love with is ready for this?
Good.
An ice cream sandwich.
Ooh, is it a mini one or the regular size?
Motherfucking ice cream sandwich. I'm talking through my teeth. Have you ever had?
Yeah, and you let it sit out for a little bit so it's just a little melty.
Oh, I was looking around like who it tastes better today
than it did.
I was like, oh my God, this right here is, oh my goodness. I'm about to say he about to get the draws because this ice cream sandwich so damn good. It's like, oh my.
Just as you saying it, I'm gonna go get some. Like I like the mini ones, the little ones. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you just let it melt just a little bit.
Ice cream sandwich, and then you get to the last one and you think like, do we have some more?
Oh.
We got more. I'm like, they have more in this people's house. Like, what do you mean these people's house is your house? I'm like, yeah, in these people's house. Do they got some more? Jesus. Oh, so good. So good. So I'm glad my taste buds, Synergy, send me a hologram. came on back because that ice cream sandwich is life.
Oh man, just because you mentioned it, I'm gonna go get some. Just to have the mini ones. Because I think I'm doing something.
Because when it's small, it's better. I mean, I got little mini Snicker bars here. By the time I eat about 4, I done ate a whole size one. So,
Oh, yeah. This is true. Oh, okay. Yeah. So but I remember those pies that you were talking about. I remember back in the day, I used to like the lemon ones. The lemon pie. Now you couldn't. Oh, my God. Like you said, it's like poison. Like, what chemicals are in this? Yeah.
Apple pie. It tastes like somebody dumped a whole bucket of cinnamon. And I don't know, it's just not good to me anymore. So as a kid, it was like the best thing on a school trip when you crack them little, that lunch out and like, what's your mom pack? A turkey sandwich? What are you gonna have sweet? Because you gotta have some cookies or something. And that little Hostess apple pie, what? It was like a little, like a no. Do you remember the McDonald's apple pies? They were like fried.
Yep. Well, so let me tell you, because down here in Florida, they have the mango pies. It's a guava. It's a guava cheese pie. Let me tell you, that's the best $1.09 I be spending for the whole. It is so good. It is good. From McDonald's. McDonald's has guava cheese here. Yeah, so it must be a South Florida thing because That guava cheese is everything.
Oh, see,
It's
we don't have that
everything, and
here.
it's still like $1, like $1 and some change.
Keep it at $1.
Yep.
Well, I remember the McDonald's apple pie was crispy because they done dipped it in some oil and fried it. Who the hell told y'all to do that? You better give me one.
Oh, good stuff.
Give me
Good
one.
stuff. Okay. So, what do we call this episode? Because we can talk about food. I know, like, I get in my food thing, and I know we can talk about good food. Like, okay, so hold on real quick because I found. So I like Greek. I like Mediterranean food, but I love Greek food. So I found a Greek restaurant today. You heard me. I was eating it. They make these sandwich. First of all, they make like the sandwich wrap with the Greek salad and the rice. But the hummus, when I tell you, and I love hummus. I know some people don't like hummus. They make their hummus because I love hummus so much. I make my hummus. They make this hummus. It is so good. So I'm over here sapping it like, girl, it's so good, so good. So I call myself not eating all the bread, all the pita bread. So I take one little triangle and I heat it up. But I didn't heat it up about 6 triangles already. Bread.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
Just dipping it. Oh yeah, but it was so good. Ooh, and the chicken was so delicious. Good. The rice was so good, and the salad. You know, I don't really care for salad like that, but the salad was so good. And the bread was so good. So, and I'm hungry again, like any dinner.
Like, here you go. What do we call this episode? But real quick, about food.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. You know, I'm sidetracking like a motherfucker. Okay. Yes. What do we call this episode?
We're calling this episode, we sing it right. Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. and I'm gonna tell you why I'm singing this. I'm gonna get us right to the ratchet minute on this. So Aaron Pierre is the actor who is the voice of, the Lion King. And he was also in Rebel Ridge, which is that Netflix movie, which was good.
I like it.
And so he was on the Jennifer Hudson show, and she has this whole, walkthrough for her guests where they kind of give you like a little parade, and they give you a little, it's called the Spirit Tunnel. They give you a little song and dance, and he came out dancing, and he had his own little moves, whatever. And he's a fine man. And it just turned into a whole TikTok craze. Like, he's everywhere. Every dude has come up with their own little version of it. Like, I ain't no Mufasa, but you get Pierre. Like, some Haitian guy made his own. Like, this is Andre Pierre. This is me. This is who you get. It's so funny what people are doing with it. But, when I really look close and watch it for the 50-11th time, I'm like, well, if he ain't packing a punch in his gray sweats, that's Mufasa.
That's Mufasa? Oh
that's
my God.
Mufasa.
Yo, so you sent me the video, and I was like, okay, so I mean, it's cute, whatever. He's he's on a Soul Train line, I guess. But I was like, what is happening with the pants? And it's funny because I'm like, I don't think. I mean, maybe. I mean, is that a part of it? Like, is that supposed to be the part of it? Because his member is making a membership. His member. I don't know.
This is a straight woman problem we have because that's the first thing we go for.
Like, wait a minute.
Everybody like his eyes. I'm like, yeah, but did you see the other part though? But did you see what was sitting on his thigh though? Did you see that? Girl, bye. I was like,
that's
what?
Rebel Ridge right there.
That's Mufasa. I was like, I just be in my car at the stoplight. Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa. They like, did you see the movie? No.
Well, I did see some. I mean, I saw Mufasa, the Lion King. I mean, he's not in it, but he's the voice.
The voice.
He's the voice of
Simba's father.
Oh, okay. Because I guess I could tell. So he's an English actor. You know that, right? Like he has a whole accent. So my thing is, I think he's, he has really nice green eyes. I liked him in Rebel Ridge. I've actually seen a movie with him. It was some years ago where it was a drama, but he was like the gay older brother. So my thing is, I'm not quite sure if he's in that station. I don't know if he, I think he's in the station, but I don't know if he's gone through the turnstile yet, if you get what I mean.
Are you sure? I'm like, was that Anthony Mackie in the movie you talking about?
No. I definitely this was a movie. It was like a British movie. And he was the older brother, and kind of like in the streets or whatever. But on a low, he was like on a low. He had like
an English movie. Okay.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was like a little nondescript, and now that I think back, that was him in the role, but I didn't know at the time. So it was, and I can't think of the, we can't think of no names. I can't think of the name of the movie, but it was a story. It was like the younger brother telling the story of his older brother who had passed away. And one of the things was like, he had a relationship with his homeboy. That was in the movie. So I'm just saying, as an actor, I mean, I think he's going places, because what is he, like 30 years old? He's like 29, 30 years old, young guy. I don't know, but the jury is out for me. Like, I don't know. My gaydar is not going off crazy, but it's a little like, I don't know. Could be.
He didn't. I mean, you're telling me this about the movie. He didn't give me gaydar. He just, because what threw me off was the fact that he's from London. So when you hear him talk, I'm like, oh shit. I'm not into the whole Michael Ealy. Like, I'm not into light skin, light eyes. Like, that doesn't move me like that. However, he's still a good looking man. Like, he gives me James Earl Jones vibes. Like, so it makes sense that he's the voice of Mufasa. And that's when I saw him in Rebel Ridge, and I was like, oh shit, he has an accent? Like, these motherfuckers is just tricky, ain't they? And that's just what I saw. Like, I just saw the fine part. Like, yeah, he's fine. Like, I like watching the tunnel dance, and I didn't take it no further. And I was a little bit like, did you ever see that meme they made of James Brown with the with the yell? That's how I was. Oh, like an old dirty lady. That's Mufasa. I'm saying it like James Brown. Yes. So yeah, that's been all the craze. I'm like, okay, if anybody is anybody and they have any sense of social media, they have seen the Aaron Pierre go down the Soul Tunnel. Okay. So that's that.
He's born in London. He's of Jamaican, Curacao, and Sierra Leonean descent.
Yeah. Well, there's a video of a young lady, and she's Jamaican, clearly. And, they asked him in an interview, like, what is like one of your last favorite meals? She's like, oh, my grandma had roti, and he gives this whole Jamaican meal. So Jamaican, when we're like, what? Like, he's one of us. They're going wild. But then there's a picture that showed up where he's like with a white girl, and like, that's his boo. And it's like when he was younger to like now. And everybody is like, really? We knew it. Like, we knew it. Had to be something. So the comments are just going crazy. And it's just like, well, they're like, either he's going to be gay or he likes snowballs or something like that,
Snowbuddies.
Yeah. I said snowballs. No, I'm pretty sure somebody said snowballs, but it was just, the comments was just crazy. And I'm like, well, I don't know. And then in another interview, he made it very clear, like, I like black women. Like, I'm out here. I'm single. I want to, of course, I want a black woman. I was like, oh. So, okay, Mufasa. Right. But he's a look, he's if you had to pick between Stringer Bell, who's Idris Elba.
I'm still Stringer Bell.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna give you and I'm gonna give you one more, and Morris Chestnut.
I'm still Stringer Bell. I'm still Idris.
Yeah. Felt like that was kind of easy.
Yeah, all day. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let me tell you what else is ratchet. Donald Trump is officially sworn in as the 47th president. No, and let me tell you, all this Donald Trump news, I just wanted to make sure we keep it in the ratchet, because the world is ratchet right now. Like, this is one big I can't even, I'm laughing, it's sad, but I'm laughing about a lot of this shit going on right now. They like, Michelle didn't come to the inauguration ceremony.
She was like, nah, hated it.
He was like, you forgot that he was questioning your birth certificate, boo. Did you forget? I didn't forget. I'm not coming. Me and Malia going to Target. We're not coming. Oh, and by the way, you know what I mean? Now we have, what does he sign for all of the, to inclusivity and integration in different like stores. Like,
no
they
DEI,
don't have to hire anymore.
No more DEI.
He said no more. Yeah, DEI, that's what it is. He said no more. Target's a part of that. Walmart's a part of that. Some of these great stores that I love so much was like, wait a minute, hold on a minute. They got on board. So yeah, him being the president and being, sworn in on Martin Luther King Day. Is that not the most ratchet shit you have?
That was kind of crazy. That was different. That was something.
What?
They tried to have the free at last.
What?
There was the young pastor. I don't know his name, and I don't know where he's from, but he gave a pretty moving, free at last. Thank God Almighty is one of those he did at the
Mm,
end. I guess
mm, mm,
to
mm.
honor
Mm-hmm.
MLK on. But I mean, in actuality, that Martin Luther King's birthday, I believe, is January 15th. So it's not even really that day. We just move it to the first Monday. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
national holiday. But
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, and what I mean, as far as what continues to be ratchet about all this is
Mm-hmm.
when you say Trump has vowed to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of
Gulf of
America.
America.
That's like A on his list. Like, we're gonna tell these, but I'm like, but you don't even want them to be considered American. So why are you? This is A on my agenda. We're gonna change the name of the Gulf of Mexico.
I think it's so funny. I just the Gulf of America.
That's a priority. And then TikTok was shut down for a hot minute, and people lost their minds.
Now let me tell you, because I mean I'm not on TikTok like that,
Not
but
me neither. Me neither.
But that I don't know who did something. Whatever happened, it had like shut down like a day early.
Mm, mm,
So plus
mm.
all the little apps that are like because I do use CapCut, like all the little apps were out of business, and then Trump kind of stepped in and was like, we're gonna give it 90 days, 75 more days. Let's
Mm-hmm.
figure something out. So I think the thing is it's a Chinese company, and China ain't trying to give up nothing about this shit. So
Well, yeah,
this will be interesting. We are living in some really interesting times. That's what I'm
it's
gonna say.
this is just. I feel like the world is just so ratchet. Like, I wake up and I'm just like, it's chaos. It's just a ratchet place to be, for lack of a better word. I'm like, all of this stuff happening, and
I was laughing because Trump was like he was calling Biden a felon. I was like,
he
wait
got
a
a lot
minute,
of nerve.
what? Where did he do
Wait,
that?
when he sat down to sign, all of his bills and stuff, he goes, "You think Biden was doing this on his first day?" Ha ha! No. And I just think, of all things, I will say, the man is funny.
He could be a good old interesting time piece.
He and the thing is that I don't know, is he trying to have a sense of humor? Like, what do they have, like his defense secretary or something like that? Like, it was some dude who has like a podcast who used to be an athlete, and they're like, he's not even qualified. And I felt like, and I wish I
Well, the
remembered his
Vice
name.
President JD Vance, so that movie, was it the Hillbilly Elegy, is the
Okay.
story of his life, which a lot of it
Yes.
centered around his mother, who I believe was there. She was there on the swearing in. Like his mom was off the chain, in at least in the movie, the portrayal. And he wrote a book about it, and they turned it into a movie. So it's interesting because he's straight backwoods. Like he from the backwoods. Like that, we call him the WTs. That's exactly what that is, what he is, where he's
It
coming from.
it just
And
seems
he looked
like,
like he had eyeliner on.
yeah, he probably did have a little bit of Luther Vandross eyeliner on.
But he's got I guess she's Indian. He's got an Indian wife.
Uh-huh.
And look like they got a gaggle of kids.
A gaggle.
A gaggle. You see. Let me tell you though, I low key shed a tear with Biden's outro speech. I don't know why, and I have not been the biggest fan of Biden, but it struck an emotional chord. I was in here halfway boohooing. Because he said, in so many words, he was just like, y'all take care of yourselves. Like I've been in civil service for over 50, something over 50, 60 years. Meaning, this is the end of the road really for him. Like, I mean, he served the highest public office they could, in the United States. I mean, this is it for him. So I don't know. I was just in here. I did a little bust down. I watched the whole thing. I have no strong opinion one way or another. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. So, that I don't get too much into that. But that particular moment with Biden and his, standing there with his wife, and he's an old man. He's an old man. And to know like this would be the end of his political career, and just some of the words that he said, like, yeah, I shed some tears in here. I didn't think
And
I would, but I did.
and that was because you were really watching somebody who was speaking from the heart. You felt some real genuine words coming out of his mouth. You know what I mean? Like you didn't feel like nothing was scripted. And even if somebody helped him write it, like you knew he was talking from the heart of who he is as a man, who he grew to be. And it hit home for you.
Yeah, I guess
Like
so.
some humanity was there.
I was surprised at me, but I did.
You surprised at me?
I surprised myself. Yeah, I shed a little tear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then and I think Trump, say what you want, but he's entertaining.
Yeah.
He is one of the most entertaining people out here. He just says it's like the person
What he
that has
wants.
no filter. Like he just says exactly what he's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of have to respect that in an odd way because people don't normally do that. Everyone has a filter. We're very
Mm-hmm.
politically correct in
Mm-hmm.
everything, and sometimes that's good, and sometimes it works against us. So
Mm-hmm.
there's someone who just, I mean, it's like diarrhea of the mouth. He's going to say exactly what it is, when it is, and he doesn't care.
Yeah, but his actions follow. So sometimes I just look at it like he's a corrupt cowboy. Like
Mm-hmm.
like woohoo! Like he's literally, you know what I'm saying, with his lasso and
Mm-hmm.
he's like running the country with it. And he's like, good old boys, like, white power on my side. That's how I see it. So you can say all you want, but his actions do follow. Some of his actions, sometimes I agree, like, okay, yeah, like take care of that. Then on the other side, it's like the priorities just be so like, hold on, I don't get it. Like, how do you have a case where you left the White House when you left the job and took like classified documents? You're in trouble for that, aren't you? I don't get it. And you left them out in the living room. It was like, oh, I didn't know y'all were coming. It's like, so to me, that's like the comical part. Like wow, but it was really your white privilege that was like, oh, and by the way, like Obama, you make sure you show your birth certificate because we don't know if he was born here. But don't worry about the papers I took when I left the job because I'm gonna be back. He's like, so I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna get the job back. So I'm a little bit like, I don't understand. That's why I just say it's just ratchet out here because folks are like, yeah, and he's a great leader for it. I'm like, but I don't get it.
It's just.
And I don't know what this declassifying documents with Martin Luther King, JFK, Robert F. Like what he wants to disclose all these documents.
I think that's a great idea. I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to it. I grew up watching as a kid the movie JFK. I think it was
JFK,
Francis
yes.
Ford Coppola movie, and I had it on a VHS. I was so, I mean, granted it was a movie and they put a lot of theatrics in it, but I was so locked in with that because of this great mystery with a president who died before we were even born. I remember
Mm-hmm.
growing up with hearing about John F. Kennedy and with our grandparents and who he was as a president and so to know that the truth and some of the truth because what they're saying is that the CIA had a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the thing. So it's been locked up. The information and the investigations, all the information has been locked up about MLK, JFK, and what was the other one? Who was the other person? I believe Robert F. Kennedy. RFK.
RFK. Mm-hmm.
So to allow for whoever had anything to do with it to have passed away. Because I think it was 75 years for JFK before they would release the classified documents. Just to ensure that the culprits would have already passed on, I'm assuming. So
Hmm.
now to know that he has that Trump is allowing this information, these records to be shown to the public, I mean, I think it's a great thing. Declassify them. I'm in agreement with Martin Luther King's family, which they're saying they would like to review the documents ahead of them being made public. Out of respect,
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be warranted. But I think this is a good thing. Declassified. What are they classified for anyway?
Yeah. I just didn't, I was a little shocked to know like that was one of the priorities on his to-do list.
Let's let it not be hidden. This is the age of truth. Let it not be hidden any longer. So let them out.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think
Mm-hmm.
about Melania's She looked like Cab Calloway from Janet Jackson's video. All right, remember All Right with Me? All right
Yeah, that's
with me.
somebody. Somebody said she like one of the
Yeah.
cartoon gangsters.
Oh, from Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. I thought it was appropriate. I didn't think, you know what I mean? I was like, okay,
She
she's the
looked like
first
she was going to
lady.
a funeral, didn't she?
Eh, she looked very stiff, very stoic, very
Yes.
yeah. You know what I mean? It was one of those like we don't want no personality to come
Like,
through in
what are
whatever
you
you're
going to, a
wearing.
behaling or an inauguration? What's going on?
Yeah, and then did you see how like she like barely kissed him?
Yeah.
She gave him
Well,
like a
that's
pretend kiss in the
intimate.
air.
I don't think she likes him very much.
I think she's like, ugh, like when he
Yeah.
touches her, she's like shakes a little bit, like, ugh. And then their son, their 7'9" son,
Oh my
waving to the crowd.
gosh. Do you see him? He's a giant.
They're like, where'd they get him from? Why is he waving like he's Miss America? What is going on here? Like, it's just so ratchet out there. I just don't. And then he's pardoning, the people who stormed the Capitol.
Yeah.
And we already know people were hurt, some people died, like that was not. And he's like, you know what, I'm getting my friends out of jail, you know what I'm saying, like leave me
Yeah,
alone. That's
I saw an interview and he was saying,
what.
Trump was saying, there are people who have killed people and they're
Hmm.
out.
Hmm.
So basically, I'm gonna get them out because
Yeah, yeah,
I know killers that are walking free.
like so I mean, I just saw like over here the New York News is like going crazy with police officers that are like so hurt behind all of this, because it's like, how do you ever say like, blue lives matter, and what took place. And even the coordinator, he was just like, hey, with his patch on his eye, whatever his name is, Billy Bob, I'm gonna call him. Um, I'm getting that. I wasn't there that day, but I did organize everything. Just know my friends are getting out. It's good. It's just a good feeling. Like, so in other words, there's no consequences. Like, there's no, you won't be penalized. And like I said, he's just it's like a corrupt cowboy. Let me get my friends. I'm getting my friends out. Yeehaw! Because
Okay.
that hurt my feelings too. Like, wow, that was a effed up thing that even took place. So he could have said, I'm sorry this happened. I don't want people who represent me to even, go that far with things. The violence shouldn't happen. He could have went just on a personal level, a different route. But he was like,
He was like,
no,
hi, hi.
yeah, like no. And they put their feet up on what's her name's desk, and he was like, yeah, good. Make sure that happens again. So like look at where the world is at. And then you had Snoop Dogg perform,
At the crypto
Rick
ball.
Ross perform, Soldier Boy, Crypto, and at the Crypto Ball, and Nelly.
Oh.
Oh, so
That's
you
cute.
think Snoop needed the money?
No, I don't think
I
he
know,
needed the money. I just
I
think
know.
he, like what did he say? He said, Donald Trump, he ain't done nothing to me. He has done only great things for me. He pardoned Michael Harris. I have nothing but love and respect for Donald
Mm-hmm.
Trump. That was Snoop. So,
It's a different song, because before Snoop was saying everybody representing Trump, y'all just cooning, shucking and jiving, and he had a whole F y'all, like a
he
whole.
did the whole change clothes and go.
Yeah, and then he switched it up. So that's why I was like, well, did you really need the money? Or just because he pardoned your homeboy? Like, okay. That, yeah, and then Nelly, you show me where he's a racist. You show me. I'm going boom, boom, baby. Zoom, zoom. He came right on.
Oh my goodness. I just, you know what? I don't feel no ways about it. Go get your check with it. That's what it was. People talking about you, Soldier Boy. People still, now they talk about you. I mean, Crank That Soldier Boy came out how many 20-some years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So if you out here performing, cool beans. I don't care.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
watch
I
it.
mean,
I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. They're not my favorite rappers anyway.
yeah. Okay. It was disappointing to hear. It was good to hear that.
Was Ashanti there?
Really quick, Aaliyah has a Barbie doll. What'd you say?
I would say, was Ashanti at the crypto ball?
Oh,
Watch
I don't know. She had a
the
babysit.
baby.
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't think she was there. Aaliyah would have been 46 years old.
Aaliyah, oh, let me know.
Yes, they did the
Wow.
1 in a Million Barbie with the little leather outfit she
I
wore
want
with the
one. I
shades.
wonder
Yeah.
how much are they? You know?
$55.
All right, that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah, I thought that was dope.
as a collector's item. I want one.
Well, have you seen Aaliyah on like some of these t-shirts?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and like something like it's like Aaliyah, Poetic Justice, Tupac. Like they have some of these like old school things, movies and entertainers and singers
Yeah,
that
I
like
have
some of these
one.
kids know nothing about.
Yes, and yep, and I have them, and I think this is a wonderful relationship between Barbie and Ali for and with Alia for her estate.
And
I
Mattel.
can't believe she will be 46 years old. Can you believe that?
46. Yeah. I was just talking about the night they said on the radio that she died in the crash. I was with
Yeah.
you.
Oh, we
It
were
was me,
in
you, Diana.
Maryland.
I feel like we were
We were going
we
to
were,
a club or coming back.
yep.
We were
Mm-hmm.
partying. I remember
Yeah, we
that.
were in Baltimore. Yep. We were in
Couldn't
grad school.
believe it. It was on the and it was on the radio. Couldn't believe it.
We were like stuck. Like we came from having like such a good time and it was like it fizzed out. I think like we were like so sad in the car. So anyway, and look how long ago that was. So here we are. They're still honoring her at 46 years old. Like, wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, on another ratchet note, hate to go there. Mayor Ras Baraka, he's vowing to fight President Trump's immigration policies because they raided Newark without warrants apparently, and those immigration activists, honey, they came out. It's a cold day, and people were walking. I'm talking handcuffs and everybody out.
What?
Yes, over here
What?
in Newark.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, they detaining people. They like, wait a minute, this one's a veteran. What are you doing? They like, shoot first, ask questions last. Everybody get in. Everybody, let's go.
What?
Yeah. So now it's like, everybody's, basically like, if you're not, if your paperwork is not straight and you're here, all right. U.S. immigration is coming for you. Be scared to go to school, be scared to go to work, all of that. Yeah. And that they're going to ask questions later. So you can basically count on potentially being arrested.
Ooh.
And if you got crimes under your belt, because we have a lot of folks over here committing crimes,
that's a huge issue. I know that was Trump stomping. He went off about that, but that isn't actually a big issue.
Yeah. Listen, it's one thing to be like, I'm here. I left the life, which was worse. Clearly, if you pick up and you just have your toddler in tow and you just have your bag, and the clothes on your back, literally, and you come to somewhere else to be somewhat homeless and it's better than what you left, then, oh my God, how can we help? However, if that's your scenario and that's your case, and then you come and commit crimes, then it's like, well, what happened to moving in silence?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah. So in that case, yeah, I don't, yeah, do something about it. That's right. You the president, do something about it.
Ooh, so it's gonna be a smackdown. This sounds like a whole smackdown.
It's a whole thing because then you have like the Cubans who voted for Trump, whether it was Florida, whether it was right here. Like it's a whole hustle bustle of them. So there's some division with them because it's like, so what are you trying to say? You want your cousin to get back on that boat? Because then y'all ain't right with each other. Go get out. And it's like, no, you get out. No, you get out. Lucy.
Listen, Linda, listen.
Oh my God.
You
It's a
gotta
lot of
go.
listen, Linda. It's a lot of Lucy. It's, it's because I'm thinking that then that's y'all against each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
I mean, this will be interesting because there's a lot of them that one foot in and one foot out,
yeah, look,
and let me tell you, I've known people here where they, Trump happy upstairs, but downstairs, your Uncle Luis is hiding out from ICE because he ain't supposed to be here. But okay.
But some will tell you I'm white. I'm white.
Oh, I know. Look. And then try to say like, well, that's the only thing they can choose. Like, okay, that's whatever. It sounds good,
right? And then when Trump says no, you're not. You have to go back home. Then they're like, then they go, as black people, we need to stick together. You're like, wait, what? Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. There's a lot of that too. We're supposed to be together in this. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bragging
So
black people. No, 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 no,
yeah,
no,
very,
no. Don't
very
let me pull out
whitewashed.
the Dikembe Mutombo on you. No, no,
Yeah,
no,
no, no,
no.
no, with the finger. Oh, God rest him. He passed
I
away.
know. Yes, right.
Mm. A
Oh,
lot of people didn't make it to 2025, man.
yep. So true.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Now in this new year also, this is actually sad,
What's
but
that?
Wendy Williams has a GoFundMe and she's fighting for how do I say it?
Conservatorship.
Conservatorship?
Fighting
Okay, said it
against her
right.
conservatorship.
Yes. Yeah, fighting
Mm-hmm.
against a conservatorship, right? So far there's 30,000, 30,000 is it? And you get so I was watching TMZ and they were like, a friend of Wendy's finally spoke to Wendy, finally spoke to her, and it was comedian Lunel. And Linnell was like, I finally spoke to Wendy, and Wendy sounded fine. She sounded like the old Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so we need to really get this hashtag free Wendy because, what they're doing is not right. Then Harvey, who's the host of the show, he was like, I spoke to Wendy today, last week. He basically said, I've been on the phone with her like all week. And like Lunell said, it's the old Wendy. Like, she's
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
Like this.
did you see the interview that she called in with her niece to Charlemagne the God to the Breakfast Club,
So I
and
heard
she gave
about
about
it.
a 20-minute. Did you hear the interview? It,
No.
okay, so you got to listen to
So,
it. That
okay.
was the old. It's the old Wendy.
Uh huh.
So there has obviously been some sort of smear campaign that went out
Mm
against her, or I even said that she was very heavily drugged. So when we've seen her kind of off, I do believe that she was under the influence of some drugs that she probably was taken against her will.
hmm.
That's
Mm
just
hmm.
my personal opinion, because to hear her on the Breakfast Club speak out about her living conditions. So basically, she's somewhere in New York at like a place where people have dementia. She was like, no disrespect, but I don't belong here. This is
Mm
this is not where I'm supposed to
hmm.
be.
Mm
She's
hmm.
like, I got my little room, and she's like, I can't even call out. I can't even
Mm
have
hmm.
calls come in. I can only call out. So everything is very heavily. She's very heavily watched, and she has a
Mm
conservator or
hmm.
an executor, basically someone who has control over her person and over her finances. That is not a family
Mm
member,
hmm.
and it's this thing is it's so crazy what has happened to Wendy Williams, because it's basically what I think, and this is my giving my professional opinion about it, was
Mhm.
she had a
Mhm.
bank account at Wells Fargo with
Mhm.
millions of dollars in it, and anybody knows, you put money in a bank, your money is gone. They take it and they put it on the
Mhm.
market, they roll it, they gamble with it,
Then
they do all kind of
yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
they basically put an IOU in your bank account. So when you look on online and you see, okay, I got $1 million or whatever it
Mhm.
is,
Mhm.
your $1 million is not actually there. It's a
Mhm.
promise that it will be there should you need it. So what I believe was happening was, because her son had access to the account, so did she. She was spending her money. It's hers. And
Yeah.
I'm sure, when they're sitting down for these board meetings, like $30 million is not in the bank, because the owner of that 30 million or so money, they keep coming in and they keep using the money. So now we got to account for these IOUs. So it raised
Mm.
a red flag. This is my theory, but it raised a red flag with Wells Fargo. So what did they do? Come up with a solution, because they probably talked to their legal counsel, said, go to court and petition for a conservatorship, so
Mhm.
that we could stop the spend that's happening so fast, because now it's affecting their bottom line. So they go to
Mm.
court, and whatever palms they had degrees or whatever favors they had to pull, they actually got an order. So the bank stepped in. No, 9 times out of 10, you'll have you might have an executor over your trust. Like, you'll appoint someone. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's someone that a
Mhm.
financial advisor. But this
Mhm.
was a third party. This is like someone Wendy, no one that she knows. So they basically went to court and got guardianship over her assets as well as her person. This is crazy that it happened, and that it happened to such a well-known figure as well, Wendy Williams. I can't believe it. And honestly, you see this type of action with someone who has clearly mentally incapacitated. They've had doctors that have sworn statements and did evaluations, and it doesn't happen as easily as it did in this situation. But this is a conspiracy. There's something underneath this. There's something else going on. So, I'm listening to Wendy Williams on the podcast that she did, on the show that she did with Charlemagne, and she just sounded, she was in her sound mind, sound everything, and she's fighting. And her niece is there. Her niece lives here in Miami, and her niece was saying, my aunt needs help. We need help to get legal representation to get her out of this. It's crazy that this happened. She said, Wendy said she had $15 to her name. $15. And you and I know we grew up with Wendy, right? I mean, there was nobody else on the radio, on the airwaves. It was Wendy.
Wendy was all about Wendy.
She said it, that the reason why she was off the radio is because of Diddy, because of what she knew, and he basically tried to destroy her career. She says it. And I cannot believe this is happening to an icon of our times. To Wendy.
I mean, when they had put out that, like, she can't speak, and just like she's on her last days is how it was pretty put,
right?
like, oh no, like I'm praying for her, right? And then I saw like the interview, and I'm like, okay, she was a little off in the interview, but she still had her sharpness to her, nothing like that. And I'm like, well, what about her son? I know that her ex-husband, was an asshole, how he went about everything with her. And I feel like he felt he still needed to be paid out after all was said and done. So, why wouldn't her son be able to step in? Okay, he was a minor at the time. I'm glad to hear that her niece is stepping in with her. But to know that she's in her right mind right now is like, wait a minute, there's something more going on.
Yeah, so this is a violation of her due process rights. Like, this is a constitutional issue, if you ask me. Like, this is a violation of her rights at the highest level. So I'm hoping and praying for her that she gets some retribution in this, and that things happen fairly, because this, I can't. We saw this with Britney Spears, and Britney Spears was able to fight her conservatorship and get out from under it. But the difference was, Britney Spears, it was her father that was behind it, so it was a family member. This situation, this is a stranger family. This is the bank, and the bank's people.
It is Wells Fargo. And then what also question is it just one bank? Because I'm thinking like your money's in other places. Like,
no, it sounds like it's the one bank that
big
spearheaded it. Yeah, so she might have had the majority. And she was saying that she was able to sell some of her assets and be able to, that's how she lived beforehand. So she was able to do that. But this is crazy, because you're under a conservatorship. They basically freeze all your assets. They freeze everything, anything that was coming in that bank. And then they, in order to, like, you want to make a purchase, you want to do something, you got to get a court order to do it, or it's got to be approved by the conservator. Like, it is, it's very restrictive. So, I'm praying for her. And it's sad that her family had to start a GoFundMe. Do you believe, like, that's crazy?
Yeah,
crazy for her legal expenses. So she needs to fight this. She wants to go home. She wants to move to Florida. Where her family is.
Yeah, where her family is, where her dad is, and I remember, her mother had passed away, and her mother used to always, Wendy, be on the show. And oh man, it's just to hear that, she lost her mother on top of it. And I know she has a sister, Wanda. And this is just things we know about her from being listeners, like true listeners to Wendy. And I know, I got a chance to see, she went to her son's graduation. Like, I was really happy for her. Like, okay, she made it to little Kevin's, like, graduation. I know she was in a chair. They said she was, just as glammed up as the usual Wendy we know to see her. She was, doing all right. But it's just like, the people around you, like, what's really going on? So I'm going to claim that she's going to make a full
Wendy.
comeback.
I'm using that hashtag. Yep, absolutely. Free Wendy.
She about to make a full comeback. And she always used to say the gay rapper. And if that all has come to some type of, fruition, for real.
She said Diddy done. That's what she said. I just, you felt the intensity in her voice, like she went through a lot surrounding
Mm-hmm.
this. Now how this is coming back full circle. We talking about the whole Diddy thing. It's coming back full circle, and that's what she had mentioned, that he'll get his day because he made a part of her life hellish for a while. I remember she was like, she had to go to the Bahamas, I think, and then she was in Philly for a while, and she was moving around. Remember, she was off the radio. She was the radio for a period of
Well, yeah,
time. That's all we
she
knew.
she started in the Bahamas. That's where her little radio, like broadcasting, like a lot of it was in the Bahamas at first. So for her to dip off in the height of technology, come back. I know she was with before Charlemagne. It was Goose. She was with Goose on the radio. They were so funny.
I
And
remember
then
Bruce.
Charlemagne was after that. And even before that was 98.7. But then to get her own show, we were so happy Wendy had her own show.
Yeah, she deserved it. She deserves it. Like, truly one of a kind. So I'm rooting for her.
So I'm claiming it right now. She's making a full comeback. She's making a full comeback. So was that woke?
I think we just went through all of Ratchet and Woke, so I think we could go right into the weekend's E reports.
Yeah. Where are we at with this weekend, D? Is this mine?
All up in ya.
Huh? All right, here we go.
Okay.
I met a wonderful guy on the rebound from my divorce. We love spending time together in and outside of the bedroom. Time is going by fast, and we are approaching year 2. Honestly, I like things just the way they are, and now he's pushing marriage. Oh dear, what should I do?
I laugh because people be putting I don't know, like I feel like you know exactly what to do. Don't you feel like
It's the Koopa troop. Remember Koopa would jump up and down?
Yep.
Koopa and Mario Brothers and spray a little fire.
You're taking it back.
That's how I feel. That question.
Let's see. So okay, so I mean it sounds like, yeah, it's fun. Why? Because and he's wonderful because he's the rebound. That's what rebounds are. They're wonderful. They're great. They're cool. They're nice. It's so much fun. But they're rebounds. And that to me, like, I never feel like you should legitimate. Wait, what did it say? Turn a rebound into a spouse.
A regular? Oh,
a rebound into whatever. I think that's a hard thing to do because that person was not filled a void. That person came in at the right time, at the right place to fill a void, right? And once you get, it's like once you get your swimming your swimming feet or whatever, like do you really need that situation that you had with the rebound? No, I don't think so.
Wah. First of all, I'm going to commend her. Tell her to look down at her cat and say, "Girl, we did it again."
What? What? You look down at the kitty. What she do?
And say, "Girl, we did it again." Because to have somebody want to marry you 2 years out, again, because you were married before, so this would be your second go round if you were to get married. You know how many women out there are waiting for a ring that have been with men for 12 years and 14 years and 27 years and 4 kids later and ain't no, I want him to, he's going to ask me and no questions asked. Nobody's pushing for no marriage with them. Like, so that's why I'm just like, I'm going to commend her for that. Like, get it, girl. Get ahead with your bad self.
Okay. I see that. Mm-hmm.
Right? Because let's start there. You know what I'm saying? Like, clearly he sees you as marriageable. He wants to be marriageable to you. Second of all, rebounds. I mean, I'll tell, old story. Once upon a time, I remember a really bad breakup and I met a rebound via traveling and we hit it off. And can I tell you how after breaking up, I forgot to be sad?
What you mean?
I met a rebound after a breakup. Yeah, I met a rebound after a breakup.
Right.
And I forgot to be sad. It was the best rebound.
That's what I said, because they fill a void.
It was just, it was just a good, and it turned out to be a little while going, and it wasn't even a matter of like we know what it is. It was like, you know what, this could be a connection that you are so much in smokes and clouds. You know what I mean? Like this could have been like meant to be. Wow, the timing is crazy. Maybe we were meant to meet at this time.
Get you
You start talking all the time. The stars are aligning. What time is it? It's 2:22. Oh my god. It is. Oh my god, we are so meant to be. This is magical. This is lovemaking. This is,
magical.
and when it all fades, and then you look back and you go,
Wake up.
but you know what? I'm not sad anymore. So, get this roster together. Let's get going.
I just, I think for her, I think she put it exactly how it should be. It's a rebound from my divorce. I love spending time with him. Time is going by. We're going on year 2. And I like things the way things are, but he wants to be married. So I think for her is really getting down to the bottom of what is it that you're actually feeling for this guy and for this relationship. Like independence is great. Like I think women, once we go through a divorce, we love our independence, and giving that up or trading that in for a relationship, it's not as easy as it used to be before we went through all of that. So how important is her independence? And that's the question she needs to ask herself. Like, do you want to just stay like this forever, or have you learned some things through your marriage or your divorce that you can guarantee that's not going to happen in this next time? Or is it that you just don't want to get married at all? Like I don't know what her feelings are about it, and I think that's something she needs to sit down with. And then being honest with him, because I don't know if this guy, any guy that wants to marry you, girl, I mean, he's probably a keeper, but does he know he's a rebound? Does he know that?
This is tough. I mean, I think she got a Teddy Pendergrass this one and let it go.
You think she should let him go?
I think you gotta let it go.
Well,
Yeah.
She may not have to. Like, I mean, that's why I said she's got to be clear. Like, is it you just don't want to be married, or you just want to stay single and be more independent longer?
She said she just likes things the way they are. Like, this is fun, and I don't want to.
Is it fine for now or fine forever?
But can you imagine, like, coming out of a divorce and then
that's why
there
I'm
you go,
asking.
right? And then you meet somebody, you guys are great, but going on year 2, like, just, and then again, like year 2, and he's like, yeah, what is this? Like, usually, it's the other way around. Women want to know. Right. Women want to know, what are we doing? So to know that that's why I'm saying, give yourself props, girl. Like, you've been a good time. You have been a pleasure to be around. God, with your bad self. I've had men ask me many questions. Are you going to be ready for dinner at 8? But at one point in my life, I've never had anybody ask me to marry them. That's a different question. Okay. So, bitch, you graduated. I'm going to tell her, Shelly, I think that because he wants that, there's no way to put somebody off to be like, well, maybe next year, maybe this. No, if this is how you like things, I think you just need to leave him be, because tell him, I'm for the streets right now. Let me alone, Becky.
I don't think she said that. She didn't say I'm for the streets. That's what I'm saying. Like, so this is why I'm asking her, is it, if you're open to marriage, you just need more time, then that's something you need to discuss with him. Like, putting together maybe some timelines or, things that both of you can recognize that will make you feel more comfortable with moving forward. If that's what you want. Or is it a situation where you don't want to be married, or you don't want to be married to him? Because that, to me, it's two different things. If you're open, you just like the things the way they are, but maybe it's progressing to that, there's potential here, then work on that. But if your goals don't align at all, because he's marriage minded and you may not be marriage minded at all, and I think that's the operative 2 words, at all. If you're not marriage minded with him at all, then you're then this is the time to jump ship. But if there is some sort of opportunity, if there's some openness that she has, where, okay, if I can get to this comfort level, maybe at this milestone or this time, then, we can talk about it. Then I think that's something to invest in. Maybe you can turn him from the rebound into the husband, if there's a possibility. So this is why I'm saying she needs to get clear about what that is, because just saying I like the way things are now, but he's pushing marriage. Okay, well y'all goals are not aligned, but can they be aligned? That's the question.
Okay, and that's true. I mean, the way I'm just reading it is like she's looking at him like, man, don't you see I just got out of a divorce? You really think I'm thinking about marriage? Man, get your hands off me, man. Like, she's a little bit like he's bugging.
Like, with a piece. You better listen up.
Like, I just got off of marriage. Get off my arm. Like, it's a little bit of that. So whether it be you or anybody, like, I'm not trying to jump back into that. Like, no.
True.
I'm feeling myself.
Yeah,
I'm feeling my.
But yeah. I mean, she might have a keeper, so you don't want to turn the. I know there's plenty of fish, but you just don't want to just turn the fish back into the sea.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if he's really a keeper, then him pushing marriage wouldn't be something that would make you feel like, oh my God, what should I do? Like, nah, if you're on the same page, then this is the moment right here to identify we are on the same page. Well, but if you got to sit down and break out your calendar and give me a timeline.
But can they?
That's what I'm trying to say. This is the time to find out. Like, they're not.
And okay, so I think we're kind of saying the same thing, but we're saying it a little differently. So yes, they're not on the same page. But for her, she needs to get clear on what her feelings are about marriage to him. If it's a possibility down the line, then that's something they should conversate about. If it's no possibility in her mind, and even after considering, why he wants to be married and all this other stuff, if she doesn't see it at all, then get up out, because y'all are misaligned. Y'all are not gonna line up. It ain't,
okay.
It ain't gonna be, if she's saying, I just don't want to marry you now, then that's something that's different than I don't want to be married to you.
Okay. Well, let me translate that. Sadate on a whoopatao. Sadate. In the words of Pootie Tang. Since we need some translation saying the same thing differently. Sadate on a whoopatao.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah. I would love to hear how this turns out.
Okay, well, me too. I would love to hear how it turns out. But like I agree with you though. She did it again. All right, you got a marriage proposal. You did it again.
Got him. Because many have called but chosen are few. So shit.
There you go. There you go.
That's it's hard out here for a pimp.
All right, moving on.
All right, it's your jam.
Oh, it's my jam. I feel like I did this jam already, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it again.
Okay, I think we did it. I think we did it with Island TV.
Okay, maybe so. So my jam is the 2000 song from 2000. Man, listen to this. That's crazy. 2000 was 25 years ago. This is Bad Boys by Shine. Remember this? It was a song that was produced by Easy LP. And it featured reggae artist Barrington Levy.
Barrington diddly, whoa. Yeah, dangerous.
Man, listen, that shit rocks. So, this was probably Shine's most successful single to date. I'm pretty sure. And when you think about, the music video, they were in Jamaica. Shine was in his big white oversized t-shirt, and they was in the streets. He was in them streets. And that wasn't Montego Bay either. It didn't look like that side of Jamaica. It looked like Brixton, Jamaica. But this song, to this day, a song is just like when you can still listen to it and it will still shake the trees up, shake everything up. Like, now tell me now tell me who wanna fuck with us? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I just
the beat, the reggae, and And in the documentary, I don't know if you saw,
Of course
Barrington,
I did.
He was upset because he was like, like me and Shaun was gonna go on tour. Like, what happened, man?
He got locked up. He got locked up.
What happened, man? We supposed to go on tour. Mm-hmm.
Man, listen.
Yes, the police politician now, but
you got to give it to him. I thought the documentary was very well put together. I appreciate Shaun. I love.
It was good.
People got a lot to say about him, but I love Shaun, and the reason why he brought Diddy into the fold for a minute, and he was saying, I did it for my country, basically. As a politician, if it was going to bring some aid, some light, something to Belize, that's what he did it for. So you got to commend him for that. And he's our contemporary, so it's very interesting to see the growth that happened. You remember Shaun was like 19 years old when this came out, and he was sounding like Biggie, but he wasn't Biggie. So that was kind of weird, in a time when hip hop was mourning, our greats, and then you see this dude come up, and he definitely did not have a flow like Biggie, and he definitely didn't look like Biggie, but it was good to hear that sound, that I just classify like that was New York, that was Brooklyn, that was New York at the forefront again, because a lot had happened in hip hop, and we needed something like a Shaun. So he came at the right the right time during that year in 2000. A lot was going on, and he just came on the scene, and it's what hip hop needed. Bad Boys. I mean, Bad Boys is a lot of ways to cut that today, but at the time we needed it, and he was right there with it.
I mean, I just imagine me being in the car with my grandkids and this coming on and me telling them to be quiet and turn this up.
Chili bop, chili whoa.
I can just see that right now. Like, turn that up. Like my grandma is over here rocking to that thumps, and I need y'all to be quiet. Unless you bopping your head, I need you to be quiet.
Banging the streets. Bad.
Yeah. And I'm sure, God willing, I'll still be here, and they'll be like, Puff is in jail, and it'll be the umpteenth year he's still not out. But yeah, kids are gonna be trying to tell me history. Like, I know. Shut up. Turn it up.
All day. So now I think Shaun is he a speaker, or is he a senator, or something?
He's a politician.
He's definitely into politics. He's found his way, because you just remember him being on that little bike riding around in the video.
He was cute. Yeah. He's special dude. I'm sorry. He, had all those years taken away from him, and
10 years.
Just the way the story went, like, oh my God.
And they got deported back to Belize, got out and got deported.
Yeah. And just things came full circle with his dad. So anyway, if you guys have not seen the documentary and you're into hip hop, heck, even if you're not into hip hop, if you're just into people telling their stories of, living and evolving into who they are today, I would definitely suggest the Shaun documentary.
Absolutely. It's called The Honorable Shaun.
Yeah, all right.
Definitely good stuff.
We did it.
All right, y'all. Well, guess what? We've come to the end of this episode. This is our first podcast episode for 2025.
2025.
Yeah,
the first.
So we coming at you every other week, right?
We did it.
Can I get an amen on that?
We did it. Hallelujah. Amen.
All right, good. All right, so look, y'all, you can subscribe to That's What I'm Saying, the podcast. You can listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and YouTube Music. You can watch That's What I'm Saying, the TV show, weekdays on Island TV or on the Island TV app. You can follow us on Instagram at TwizPod. That's TWISPOD. And Shatara, what else we got to let them know?
Yes. If you have a question for the Weekend D Report, you want to advertise with us, email That's What I'm Saying podcast at Gmail, or DM us on Instagram at TwizPod. If you want to keep up to date on my upcoming comedy shows, because I bring the funny, as well as our podcast and TV events, as I said, DM us, get in there. We want to hear from you. Check out my website at shataraCurry.com. And until next time, stay healthy, stay well.
Peace, y'all.